Hi everyone, welcome to this Pilates practice. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through the practice today. If you're new to one of my practices and you want to see a little bit or read a little bit about me, you can go onto my YouTube channel and you can read my profile that's on there. Otherwise, we're just going to get started. Now, I'm trying to do splits. I've done one already, one sort of recording of it, but I've been practicing myself, not recording, not doing any practices with other people, and I've just been sort of trying to do my stretches. I'm nowhere closer than I was prior, but we're going to do a little bit more again towards it today. But also I'm going to start with just sit-ups, working our core and strengthening our core. Okay, so for this practice, a block, if you've got a block or a book or something nearby, because at one point we are going to be doing, I can't think of the pose, but anyway, we could use a block that we can sit on for doing that pose. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Normally we start and we take a little check-in with ourselves before we do anything, which we are going to do, but before we do that, I'm going to do actually some sit-ups. We're going to work our core and make it warm. Something's happened here with my music, so just bear with me, guys. I don't know whether it's just gone all quiet. That's up a little bit louder. I don't want it too loud, otherwise you might be able to hear me talking. So anyway, so let's start from seated, everybody. If you don't want to start doing this and you don't want to start warming up the core straight away, then just lay down in Shavasana, corpse pose, until we're caught up with you. Okay, so we're going to sit from a nice seated position and we're going to start doing our roll downs. So our roll downs, we breathe in, we pull in our core, and as we breathe out, we start to C-curve down. We don't drop back, we C-curve ourselves down. We're just coming down, we're going to hold ourselves, and then we're going to just come back up. We're going to come down, we're going to come back up. So we're just going to keep doing this, warming up our core, warming up our spine. And as I said, if you're not that warm and you don't want to be doing this, just lay down into Shavasana. We're just going to be doing a few of these, warming up our core, because we're not doing an awful lot of it with our stretches for the splits. So I just want to do this because I feel like my core needs some more work. Now when we're coming down, you might only just come to here, that's absolutely fine. If you want to try and come further back but you can't hold it with your core, then take behind your thighs. Use your thighs to bring yourself back up. Breathe in, as you're breathing out and you're going down, hold behind your thighs. Come back up. You can hold your thighs to come down and to come up. And then when we come down here, let's just take a turn to our right, a turn to our left, and then come back up. Breathing in, pulling in the core. As we breathe out, we go down. Let's go to the left, come back up. Let's go to the right and come back up and bringing ourselves up. So we're also working our obliques. All these are going to be useful. Turn to the right and the left and coming back up. Really pull in, breathing in, pulling in that core. Come down to the right, to the left. Hold it there, to the left, to the right, and come back up. Come down, coming back up. Let's come down. Let's come back up. Coming down. And the final time, bringing yourself up. Hopefully the core muscles are feeling a little bit tighter. Breathe in, breathing out. We just lower ourselves down, just gently coming over our legs. Breathing in. When I don't go too mad, if you're not really warm, this is just a gentle stretch down before we go and lay down and check our bodies. Sitting back up, feet back flat on the floor, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, pull that core tight and roll yourself down to the floor, one vertebrae at a time, into laying. Okay, if you've got lower spine issues and you're already laying down, you can take your feet so they're mat width apart and lock your knees in together. Otherwise, let's just lay long. Let's take a big breath in, filling in our body, breathing in through the nose, and release it through the mouth. Do that again, big breath in through the nose, and release through the mouth. Taking the hands down by the sides, letting the feet drop out, and let's start to relax. So we can release the core we've just worked and let it relax. Let the spine relax. Just using the spine to do our roll up, roll downs, sit ups, whatever you'd like to call them. Dropping the feet outwards. Releasing the ankles, the calves, the knees and the thighs. So both your legs are nicely relaxed. And start to relax the torso, so we'll start at the bottom by the tailbone, the lower core muscles in the pelvic area, the lower spine, the mid-spine and your tummy, your upper spine and your chest. Let the torso be soft. Now scan your legs and your torso. Is there anything there that's feeling a little bit tense, a little bit not itself today? Breathe into those areas, ask them to soften, and be mindful of them throughout the practice. Letting the hands rest, the wrists, the lower arms, the elbows and the upper arms. Both arms rested. Shoulders, neck and head. Now scan your arms, your chest, your neck and your head. And again, focus on areas that are tense. Ask them to soften and be mindful of them throughout your practice. Resting your facial muscles. Moving the tongue from the top of your mouth maybe, parting your lips. Release your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead and the top of your head. Let your whole body sink into the mat. And then do a scan from the tips of your toes over the legs, over the torso, your fingertips over your arms, up into your chest, your neck and your head. And as you go, be mindful, watching out, taking note of areas that you need to be focused on throughout our practice. Start to bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. Moving your arms and your legs. And when you're ready, bring your feet up so that they are hip width apart and they're on the mat. Okay, just give them a little gentle indiscreet wipe from left to right. Just releasing out the hips. We're going to be working the hips quite a lot today, and hip flexors. Do now is we're going to do a happy baby pose. We're going to do it with one leg, then the other leg, then we're going to try with both. So let's take up our left leg, and then it might be good just for you to hold it to here. If you want to take around the outside of the foot, you can start to bring the knee down towards your armpit. The other leg is just staying on the floor at the moment with the foot flat and just holding it there. Opening out your hip flexors. And then releasing that leg down. You might want to give it a little shake. You might want to move the hip a little. Whatever's good for you. Bringing up our right leg, and again, wherever's good for you, you want to take behind the outside of the foot and draw that knee down towards your armpit. Holding your core tight as well. Don't forget, we're holding our core, we're supporting our spine. Holding it there. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. And then release that down, give that little leg a little shake if you want to, maybe moving your hips. And then we're going to try and do both legs at the same time, taking both legs up behind the outside and bringing elbows down, knees down towards armpits. I don't know what's talking about, elbows. And then holding it there. Feet should be flat and facing the ceiling. Pulling down as gentle as you can, don't be too hard on yourself. Opening out the hip flexors, which is something we need to do for the splits. Plus we need to work on our quads, our glutes and our hamstrings. So we've got to work on all of those things to keep like mobilising and pulling and stretching away. Okay, so we're going to take our left leg over the right and we're going to bring that leg in towards us. So holding underneath the right leg behind the thigh. Bring it in, using the left arm to push away on the left leg to get the opening there. If you want to take the leg up, the right leg up so that it's straight, you can do that. I'm going to hold it here because we're stretching out. Keep the core pulled in, and if you want to take around the calf of the right leg, again you can, still using the left arm to leverage away on the left leg. And then release that down, give both legs a little shake. Take that on the other side, so we're going to bring our right leg over our left. We're going to hold behind the back of the thigh with the left leg, and we're going to pull it in towards us using the right arm to push away the right leg. If you want to take the left leg up, you can. It's straight, still pushing away. And then if you want to take around the calf of the left leg, continue to push away with the right arm into the right leg. This side's tighter for me, so one side is always easier than the other. And then releasing down. Okay, amazing. Let's just take our feet mat width apart, breathing in, and as you breathe out, you drop those legs over to the left-hand side. Keep holding the core. Normally I release the core here, but we're going to hold the core. Keep breathing, keep holding your core. Breathe in, pull the core tighter, and at the same time bring the legs to centre. Don't release the core, keep it tight. Breathe in, pull it tighter, and as you breathe out, drop them over to the right hand side, feeling the stretch. Down the hamstrings, around the glute area maybe, keeping the core pulled in. And your quads might also be feeling that. Breathing in, pulling the core tighter, bringing the legs to centre, release the core. Okay, let's bring ourselves up to seated. So we're going to come up rolling like a ball, okay? We're trying not to put our feet down, and then we're going to hold it at a point. We're going to try and do a little bit of a boat pose. Again, still working around our core area for that bit. So taking behind the backs of your legs, we're going to start to roll. If it's too much for you, take yourself onto your side and take yourself to a seated position from there. So start to roll like a ball, not putting our feet down, rolling up. Maybe take your hands away. Maybe take your hands out to the side. And then coming up, holding it here. Taking your left leg up, bringing it down. Taking the right leg up, bringing it down. Take both legs up if you can, holding it there. Gently leaning back, not too much, a gentle lean back, pulling in your core. And as you're breathing out, holding the core tight, you might want to take your arms away. Holding it there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking behind the legs, bringing your feet down, and bringing yourself round. Okay, let's open our hips a little bit more here. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our left leg round so that we've got a right angle here with our leg, and then we're going to take out the right leg as far as you can. Okay, don't worry if it's not as mine is as a right angle. You might have your leg here. As I say, I'm working up to trying to do the split, so I'm pushing myself to open out a little bit more. And then from here, instead of coming down and leaning over, which you can do if you want, we're going to take our right arm into the right leg. We're going to open up our body. We're going to take our arm overhead and coming down. You might be able to get hold of your toe, but keep opening up, holding it here. So you're going to feel, hopefully you're going to feel an opening in your hips and along the side as well. Keep pulling in the core. You want to look up, you should be able to see the ceiling. And now we are going to turn ourselves round, breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to bring ourselves down over our right leg, stretching down the back of the hamstring. Holding it there, hold the core if you can. And then gently push yourself up. Let's take that on the opposite side. So, don't know how I'm going to be on this one. So we're taking our right leg out into a right angle, and then taking our left leg out. Actually, I think I did it from there. That's better. And taking our left leg out from there. Exactly. Right, got it now. So, let's see if we can get a right angle there. Don't worry if we can't. Again, as I said, this is not my best side. I'm finding it already. I can feel that I'm pulling differently on this side to I was on my other. So bringing my left arm down into my leg, pushing, opening up, bringing my right arm over to the left foot. Again, it's a twist. We're turning. You might be able to look up and see the ceiling, or hopefully you can. If you can't, then you've come too far. Lift your arm back up. Okay, so you should be able to see the ceiling. Holding it here. Keep that core pulled in. Protect your spine. Feel the stretch. And then bringing yourself round, and let's take ourselves over our left foot, or our left leg even. Stretching, feeling that stretch down the back of the hands. And hold it here for just a moment while we're stretching. Relax into it, breathe into areas that are tense. Ask them to soften down, keeping the core pulled in as best you can. And then very gently pushing yourself up and coming round. Okay, now, if you've got a wall, spare bit of wall, this is going to be good. If you haven't, then I think you're just going to have to improvise yourself. So I'm coming up against the wall and I'm taking my right leg up against the wall, just like that. If you haven't got a wall, I would suggest just holding it up. So, and then you're going to come into sort of a lunge position, bringing the right leg forward. So whichever way is good for you. So just so bringing my leg up against the wall and then lunging forward, breathing in, up, and then breathe out as you lunge down, opening out, feeling the stretch. I do like this stretch actually, it's quite nice. It's really pulling down the front here. And then pushing yourself back, keeping the leg where it is, coming up onto the heel of the right foot, and again, leaning down over that leg, stretching out the hands, and then releasing off. Let's take that on the other side. So the right leg against the wall, so we've got sort of part of the sole of the hip, the top of the foot against the wall. God, I will get it right in a minute. And then bringing your right leg, left leg forward. Goodness me, let's go to bed and start again. And then coming forward here, enjoying that stretch. And then coming back, coming onto the heel of the foot, of the left leg, and then coming down. And then bringing yourself up. Let's take that back onto the other leg again. So we're taking the left leg up again. We're coming forward now, again, into our lunge position with our right leg there. And then see if you can come down onto your arms, forearms, come down and stretching out here. If you want a little bit more, you can take your hand onto the knee, just gently pushing away, gently ease away so that you've got the sole of your foot, of the right foot, facing. I don't know if you can see it, but the sole of my foot there facing, and pushing away gently there to get an opening, further opening around the hip area. So those on hip flexors getting a real work there. Coming back and coming back round. Let's take that on the other side. So right leg against the wall if you've got a wall, left leg forward into our lunge, coming down onto our forearms if we can. Holding it there for a minute, feeling the stretch. Feel those quads stretching. Keeping the core tight, and then if you wish, coming over onto the side of your left foot and gently pushing away there to open the hip flexors a little bit more. And then bringing that back and coming back around. Okay, so now we've done them against the wall, we're going to try and do them, or we are going to do them, from this position here. So we're going to come into a much lower lunge because we've now got our leg long behind us rather than against a wall. So pushing our left leg back and lunging down here with the right leg. Actually, let's try and bring that down. So keeping that core pulled in, lunging down where you can here. Holding the opening, feeling that around the hip flexors. You might feel a little bit in the glutes now, which is quite good. So keeping the core pulled tight. And then again from here, if you want to try and come down onto your forearms. As you can see, my right arm is not quite down. Oh, actually, it's gone down now. And then onto the side of the foot and pushing away. Very gently onto the knee, don't push too hard. Onto the side, so you've got the side of the foot, pushing away. And then hands down, bring yourself back up. Bring the knees round. Let's bring our left foot forward, pushing the right leg back. So we're nicely here now, into a nice lunge. Feel that lunge, lunging down there. Feeling it here, in the back of those hamstrings. You might feel it around the glutes, which is good, and then coming down onto your forearms if you can. Feeling the stretch a bit more. Keeping the core pulled in if you can. And then a little bit more, taking the foot onto the side and gently pushing away onto that knee to open out around the hip flexors. Amazing. Then come round. We're going to come into yoga squat. That was what I couldn't think of earlier. This is where we're going to need our block or our book. Okay, so you can start with the block that way or that way. Let's perhaps all start with it that way. So we've got our block, taking our feet. Some people might come up on their toes. If you can get flat feet down so that you've got your feet flat on the floor, that's great. You're going to come down onto the block very slowly. So you've got yourself comfortably seated onto the block. Okay, so this is quite nice because it's quite high at this moment. Got your feet flat, and you're going to take your hands into prayer position. You're going to push into your hands, and you're going to push away, opening up the hip flexors here. Pulling in the core, squeezing away. You're going to stay here for a while, but it's not an uncomfortable position. Well, I don't think it is. I mean, if it is for you, maybe you want to come up a little bit higher. Maybe you've got something like higher than the block that I've got here. And close your eyes down if you wish. And then let's take that. So the block comes down, so we're going further down now. Same thing, breathing in, pulling in the core, and then feet flat onto the floor, pushing away again into those knees, opening your hip flexors, sitting with a nice and tall spine, closing the eyes down. Again, we're going to be here for a little while. And then the final one, if you can stay a taller block, the block in any of those patterns there. The last final one is obviously coming down with our feet and no block whatsoever, coming down, opening up here and closing our eyes down again. Let's hold it here, open those hip flexors. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing into areas that are tight, that are tense. Ask them to soften. You might be feeling it around those hip flexor joints now. Just relax into it. And then taking your hands down, push yourself up, bring yourself up. Just allow yourself to hang here for a moment. Then heel toe the feet together, and then Just hang like a rag doll with the feet and legs hip distance apart, taking hold of your elbows and hanging down. Maybe do a little rock side to side. Just allow the hip flexors to release off a little bit. We've worked them hard. And then breathing in, pulling in your core. And at the same time, let's roll up one vertebra at a time. Hands in front of the legs. You've got your lower, your mid, and your upper spine that will come up. Your shoulders will go back and down, your neck, and then your head lifts. Okay, amazing. So the next bit is we're going to do our stretching out of our hips again, stretching down the backs of the glutes. The quads are going to take it. So we're going to do our forward bend. Okay, so getting yourself comfortably as wide as your feet want to be. You can probably move them wider once you're further down. We're going to try and come down onto our forearms this time. So breathing in, pull that core tight, and as you breathe out, let's just come to a flat back position. So we all know what flat back is now. I think it speaks for itself as well, so we want a nice flat back there. You can take hold of your calves, your thighs, you can put your hands on your hips, wherever you are. Just staying comfortable there, keeping the core pulled in nice and tightly. And then taking your hands to the floor, just gently start to bring yourself down. As I said, you might want to take your feet a little wider. Make sure they're nicely gripped. Quite a nice gripping mat here, which is good. Nice Lululemon. I say Lululemon, my daughter really laughs at me. It's Lululemon. I like, sounds much nicer, much posher, Lululemon. Okay, coming down onto our forearms, if we can. Stretching down the backs of the hamstrings, feeling it in your quads, and feeling it around your hip flexors. Some people may be able to get their head, the top of their head on the floor, but don't compromise by coming forward to do that. And then push yourself up gently. Turn your right foot towards, or outwards. I was going to say towards the wall, but you might not be towards the wall. And then lowering yourself down for that stretch again, down the back of the hands, around the hips. Feeling it in those glutes. Walking yourself around, bringing the right foot forward. Left foot turns outwards, coming down over that leg. Keep the core pulled in where you can. Pushing yourself up, bringing yourself round, coming down onto your knees, and coming round. What we're going to do now is we're going to be on all fours. We're going to take our left leg up, we're going to hold behind the left leg, we're going to bring it forward, we're going to sit upwards, nice and tight, pulling in that core, and stretch open, stretch it down the front of those hamstring, glutes there. No, not even glutes, goodness me. Quads. Taking that down, bringing the left foot forward, taking the right knee back slightly, taking hold of the right leg and bringing that towards you. Again, feel the stretch, enjoy the stretch. Nice tall spine. And then release that down. Okay. Just going to take a little child's pose. So take your knees mat width apart, toes locked in together. Sit on your heels, breathing in, pulling in your core. And as you breathe out, lower yourself down over the mat. And then before you rest your head down, take your fingertips well away and pull into your fingertips. So your head's not on the floor, your arms are raised and you're pulling away, you're feeling the stretch along the arms. And then walk your hands over to the right hand side, and again, feel the stretch down the side of the body here. Keep the core pulled in if you can. Walking your fingertips back to centre and then over to the left hand side. And feel the stretch down the left hand side of the body. You might feel a pulling around your hip flexors, which is what I'm aiming for as well. And then come back to centre. Release your head down and relax. So you can relax with your arms there. You can relax with your arms down by your side, or you can take them onto your back. I take them onto my back, it's most comfortable for me, but you take your choice. Here I've got the natural weight of my arms pushing down, opening my hip flexors slightly more. And just release. Taking your hands round, putting them onto the mat and push yourself up gently, ready for us to have a go. And see where we are today with our splits. I'm just going to have a little bit of water. I bet I haven't got any further down, but we're going to persevere. So, taking ourselves up now. Let's start with our left leg actually. So let's bring our left leg forward. So we're bringing our left leg forward into our lunge position. Taking our hands down by the sides. Actually, even if you want here, you can put your hands either side onto a block if that's easier for you. And then you start to move your right leg back. Okay, and then when you can, push forward with your left leg. And you come down to where you can with your splits. And we're just going to hold it here. 8, 7, relax into it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then very slowly bring yourself round onto all fours. Okay, stretch up. And let's take that on the other side. So we're taking our right leg out in front, allowing it to go forward into a lunge position. We start to push back with our left leg, and then when we're ready, we can start to lower down where we feel comfortable. Actually, I have come down a little bit further. Feeling quite pleased with that, guys. We're getting down quite low now. Okay. And then we're holding it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly bringing that right leg back to join the left, and then coming up here. What we're going to do is just going to do a little stretch backwards here. So taking the hands onto the backs of your top, just sort of above the glutes here. Squeeze those glutes tight, pulling in your core, and then shoulders back and down. Allow yourself to come back very gently, just a little bit, not too much. Squeezing the glutes. We're working the glutes. We're working the front of our quads here. And then bring yourself back up. Okay, let's try that again. So we're going to take our left leg forward again, go into our lunge position. Okay, and then allowing the right leg to go back, and when you're ready, start to lower down, push forward with your left leg until you come down into your point of comfort, holding it there for 8, 7, breathe into those tense areas, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself out of that. Coming round, taking the right leg out into our lunge position, pushing our left leg back, allowing our right leg to come down to where we feel good. Get yourself where you're comfortable, and then holding it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come out of that, coming round. Let's take that little gentle back bend again into our glute area. Nice and tall, breathing in, pulling in that core. Hands to the base of the spine, just above the glutes, and start to release yourself back. If you want to take your hands to your heels, push yourself back up, holding it there. Squeeze the glutes tight for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing yourself up, bringing yourself down, taking your legs mat width or knee width, whatever's good for you. Breathing in, pulling in the core, bringing yourself over into child's pose. Relax down there. Really relax. Allow the heart rate to come back down. Allow your body to start cooling. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Amazing, pushing yourself up and bringing yourself round to a seated position. So nicely seated here. We're going to bring ourselves down to a laying position, and we're going to go into final relaxation. Don't need any more stretches. We just need to relax our body now and let it unwind. We've stretched and we've stretched. Taking our arms out in front, breathing in, pulling in our core. And as we breathe out, we come down one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the floor, holding it with your core or behind the backs of your legs, down to laying position. Taking your legs long or taking the mat width apart if you've still got issues with your spine, and getting yourself into a wonderful, comfortable position. Breathing in through the nose, closing the eyes down as you breathe out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Start to let your body sink. Everything's starting to relax now. You've worked all those muscles. You've worked really hard. Allow the body now to soften and rest, and be thankful for the practice that it's just done. All 10 toes rested. The soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, your heels and your ankles. Both feet rested and dropped outwards. Relaxing the calves, the front of the calves, the back of the calves, the knees, the tops of the knees, the backs of the knees, your thighs, your hamstrings, and the front of your thighs, your quads. Relax your glutes and your tailbone. Relax your pelvis, your lower core. Feel the weight as the glutes drop down into the mat and they start to release and relax.
Relaxing your mid-spine and your belly, your upper spine and your chest. All 10 fingers, the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands and your wrists. Your lower arms, the top of your lower arms, the back of your lower arms. Your elbows, the backs of your elbows, the creases of the elbow. The tops of your arms, the backs and the front. Both arms are heavy now into the mat. Release your shoulders, let them go, let them really be heavy. As they join the arms, weighted downwards into the mat beneath. Releasing your neck, your head. Let's release all our facial muscles. Allow the tongue to come away from the roof of your mouth. Gently parting your lips. Relax your cheekbones, your eyes, your eyelids, your eyebrows and your forehead. Release the top of your head. Your whole body surrendered, every muscle that you've worked, resting and releasing into the ground beneath you. Sinking down, heavier and heavier into the mat. Let the muscles be released. Imagining the sea coming towards you with a gentle breeze. The breeze floats over your body, from the toes over your torso and away past your head. As the tide goes out, the breeze comes back gently over your head, your torso and your legs, and away from your body. Feeling that breeze as it gently rolls across your body, away and then back down and away. And then sink further into the mat, releasing every single part of your body. Just the movement of your breath in your tummy as it rises and falls.
bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Gently moving your body, wakening it up. Maybe doing a full body stretch. Maybe putting the knees from side to side with your feet flat on the mat, window wiping. Whatever's best for you to bring yourself back to the here and now. Then lay still once more wherever you are. And be aware and conscious of the room that you're in. Listening to the sounds close by and further away. And then start to bring your body back again, waking up further. Taking yourself onto your side when you are ready. And then pushing yourself up so that you've got your knees beneath you. So you're sitting on your heels. Take a big breath in, breathing in, raising your arms up. Bringing your hands down. Across your forehead. May you have kind thoughts. Past your lips, may you speak kind words. Down to your heart, may you give lots of love. Give yourselves a bow and give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. See you soon.